Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome to the Healing Station. Here at the Healing Station, we receive healing. We receive healing for emotions, we receive healing for mental problems, we receive healing for marriages, we receive healing for finances, we receive healing for physical sickness. And today, we are talking about marriage. What is this that makes so many marriages to fail? We are going to be looking at those things, those issues. That those marriage killers, we're calling them marriage killers. What are these marriage killers? Genesis 2:15. Genesis 2:15, and God says it's not good for man to be alone. I'll make him a helper fit for him. And he goes ahead to create Eve, a very beautiful woman, for Adam, so that Adam is not lonely, so that he has a companion. That tells us that it was God's idea, that marriage is God's idea. It was God's idea for a man and a woman to meet and decide that they're going to have a family together. So marriage is God's idea. If marriage is God's idea, then what is this that makes it to be so difficult? Why is it that it is so difficult for marriages to work? Today we're going to be looking at the marriage killers. Marriage killers. Marriage killer number one, communication, or rather lack of communication. When the two stop talking to each other, when the two stop sharing, they stop talking, that marriage is in trouble already. Lack of communication. Number two, infidelity. Infidelity. When one spouse decides that he's going to have other partners outside the marriage, or she's going to have partners outside the marriage, that marriage is already dead. That marriage is dead. Infidelity is a number one marriage killer. Marriage killer number three, you'll be surprised, it's the children. The children themselves really create a strain in the marriage. Number one, baby comes, and all of a sudden, man and wife do not have time for themselves anymore. They cannot have intimacy anymore. Every time they try to be intimate, the baby starts to wail, the baby demands attention. That creates a very big strain in a marriage. And if the babies are going to follow each other without space, like let's say one is 2 years and 2.5 years and the next one has come, then before that then another one has come, then you can imagine this strain in the marriage. The two grow apart. They grow apart because the time they used to have to be together, that time has been consumed and has been taken up by the demand from their own offspring. These very children that they brought into this world jointly, these same children are the ones that are going to kill this marriage. Reason number four, killer number four is religion. You may be surprised if I tell you that that religion can easily kill a marriage. I'm talking about a scenario where one partner is more zealous than the other. Let's say one partner is more zealous in Christianity than the other. So that this partner who's very zealous in Christianity has to go to church every night on Friday because there's a service that goes all the way till morning to pray and to praise and to fellowship. Yes, the Bible says, do not neglect the assembling together of brethren. But she has left this spouse in bed and she has gone to church. And she's going to be there till morning. Then Sunday, she'll go again for 2 services. She'll attend 2 services on Sunday. Then in midweek, she'll have another meeting, Bible study, or cell group, or I don't know what, and I don't know what. Then in the morning, she'll wake up 5 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning. She'll be on her knees beside her bed in prayer. The spouse will be saying, honey, why don't we cuddle a little? No, honey. It's already my time for prayer. It's already 5:30. This is the time when I start to pray. That marriage is in trouble. That marriage is in trouble. When one person is too zealous when it comes to religion and her zeal does not match the husband's zeal. And the reverse also is true. When the husband is too zealous, abandoning the wife, going for trips, missions endlessly, and leaving the wife at home alone, that is a big problem. Number 5, the relatives. Relatives can really, really ruin a marriage. They can really ruin a marriage. They start to visit, they start to visit, they start to visit, they start to visit. They're always visiting, they're always there. So that the two can't find time to talk, can't find time for intimacy, can't find time to be together, can't grow together. Because the relatives have come to crowd this marriage. Relatives can create death, can bring death to a marriage easily. Then there is the issue of respect, lack of respect. When you don't respect the spouse, you don't respect the other person, and it doesn't respect you, then there is trouble. Then there is secrets. Secrets. Transparency is very necessary in a marriage. You are not going to keep secrets. If you've made a friend out there, talk to your spouse about this friend. If it's just a very good friendship that you've developed with someone out there, don't feel guilty. Just tell them, I've made a friend with so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. And find a way for the two of them to meet so that introduce your spouse to this, my friend, this is my friend at the workplace, this is my friend at the workplace. Respect your marriage, and at the same time, make sure there are no secrets between the two of you. Money. Money is another issue another killer for marriage is money, especially if it is scarce. As a scarcity in marriage, scarcity can create a very big trouble. It can create a big trouble in a marriage. Like if the rent is not being paid, the bills are not being paid, there's not enough food, there's no enough money even for medical attention, etc., etc. This can kill a marriage quickly. Parents parents can also kill a marriage. I have a friend who he made it a habit. He was newly married, but he made it a habit to go for breakfast to the parents, to sit with his parents for breakfast every Sunday, and every Saturday he'd be there sitting and having breakfast and talking with his parents and having a good time with his parents, and all that time he has left his wife back home. Imagine the strain in this marriage. One day, the marriage that just could not work because the times he spent fellowship with his parents, and he has neglected the spouse. That's the time he could have fellowshiped with his wife, and and the marriage would have been growing and growing and growing. Instead, the marriage suffered, really, really suffered, because he loved his parents too much, loved them too much at the expense of marriage, of the marriage, yeah, at the expense of the marriage. Another issue that makes marriages not to work, is bitterness and resentment. Bitterness and resentment. Your spouse did this or did the other, and they annoyed you, and you didn't say it, and you let it pile up, and you let it pile up, and you let it pile up. Those little annoyances, they keep piling up, and you're not discussing them. That's why communication is very important, to sit and talk and tell each other, honey, there's something you did which I didn't like, there's something you said that I didn't like. Then there's also this issue of language. Language. What language do you use for your spouse? It is very important to use a language that shows that you respect your spouse. Use polite language. Even when you're angry, you're quarreling, because quarreling is a very good thing in marriage. If used correctly, quarreling can really help a marriage to be strong. But it's very important what language you're using. Don't use abusive language. Don't use dirty language. Be very polite. Even when you're quarreling, be very polite and say, excuse me, let me just explain my issue here. Let me explain how I feel here. And the other person should listen. Be polite. Listen to you. Finish until you finish, and then they can also speak. When you give each other a chance to speak like this, a chance to articulate your feelings, you are likely to be on your way to success where marriage is concerned. So the roles. Another thing that would make a marriage to die is if you don't understand your roles. If you're the iron lady, you're the tiger lady at the home, you have a big career, beautiful career, and it's a beautiful career, and it keeps you engaged at work all through. You leave in the morning, you come home at night, and when you're home, you're very tired, but you still have to work anyway to be prepared for tomorrow. Is very much okay if your spouse, if you've talked already with your spouse and he knows what to do. that he knows what to do so that the house does not suffer, so that the marriage does not suffer, so that the children do not suffer. The husband can agree to be the house husband, can agree to have a slower life, to have a slower pace for the sake of this marriage. So if you're the tiger lady and you and your husband agree on what to do, who's doing what, who's doing the other, and then the marriage will work. But if the husband is resentful that you wake up early and come home late and you're always tired and you're always talking about work and presentations, then the marriage may begin to die. So these are some of the things that I've mentioned that would cause a strain to a marriage and lead for a marriage to break up. Before I finish, I want to say Abraham and Sarah present to us they've modeled for us a very good marriage where they are always close to each other and connected to one another, and they listen to one another. Abraham knows how to issue instructions to the wife, and the wife listens and the wife obeys. He says, we're having visitors. That's Genesis 18. We're having visitors. Sarai, please prepare something for our visitors. And Sarai goes ahead to obey without question. Without question. A very strong marriage where they've been a childless couple for 100 years. Then one day the baby comes, and all those years they were childless, they still knew how to maintain the love for each other and the respect for each other, respect and love for one another. And they know how to be together, and they still know how to keep each other keep each other company, and at the same time to give each other space. Because Abraham is sitting at the tent with the plains of Mamre, and the wife is seated in one of the tents inside the tents. So we find a balance here, a balance between being together and at the same time giving each other space. Today, we are talking about marriage. We are considering marriage and how to find healing in our marriages. If your marriage is working, congratulations. If your marriage is in trouble, find a counselor, professional counselor, and begin to invest in this marriage. Because one of the reasons why marriages do not work is that we are not fully invested. We are not working hard. We are not fighting for this. We are not fighting for our marriages. We are not fighting for the marriages to work. Find out what issues are troubling you. Sit and have this conversation. Take a retreat. Go out there. Sit the two of you and discuss the two of you. What is this that we're going to do? What is ailing our marriage? And what is this that we can do to bring healing to our marriage? And if the worst comes to the worst and you have to divorce and the marriage has to die, there's still a chance to go on with life. Singlehood is also another beautiful life anyway. It may have its challenges. Number one, of course, loneliness or something, but it is still a very good life when you get to know what to do. In singlehood, you may still enjoy anyway. So this is it, my dear listeners. Kindly like, share, subscribe, and comment. Until the next time we meet again at the Healing Station, bye-bye.